the forum.
Well, folks, we want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you are. We want to say welcome. This is Focus on Liberia, and we currently here in district number 17, Monserrat County, where UL Student Unification Party, that's SU, is in the district to speak to residents about the President State of the Nation address. So we have some members of the Student Unification Party that are here to actually speak to the citizens of the 3rd district number 17. So I want to say welcome whatsoever you are, and welcome to this discussion right here.
Our backroom here, but again, you know you are from the Student Unification Party. You understand how to run your way anywhere around as a system that we have, just in case you want to ease yourself. So, comrades, we have a doctrine here. Yeah. Comrade, please call this comrade for us. Comrade, we don't turn your back to the disco. Thank you. We have a doctrine here where we welcome guests using the intellectual water. It is one of the fellows. It is our tradition here. And whether you have come here 200 times or not, to stimulate you, we must welcome you with the intellectual water. So again, I would like to call the Vice Chair for Administration to officially welcome our guests by using our tradition. Okay.
So thank you. I will call back again for the second time. And again, it is often stated and I told that conditions are meant to be obeyed, but not to be argued. Conditions are meant to be obeyed, but not to be argued. Ensure that these shall be made the comrades and not, I can say, or screams to them. Let them be grown. The rest of the comrades days are familiar. So, as the power invested in me, I want to reduce my height and invite the platform, the chairman emeritus, Chairman Abubakar, who is going to perform before Major. Chairman, you are welcome. And again, we have us focus on Liberia TV that is carrying the achieve life. Thank you so much.
Manda, wait, Manda, wait, Manda, wait, Manda, wait. Comrades, despite the district is moved, but it is your responsibilities to answer to the battle card. We are now moving here. Officially, we have a response from the President sooner, as we did. So it is a joyous moment for us. Manda, we do, Manda, we do, Manda, we do, Manda, we do, Manda, we do. Thank you very much. Because of the time, I like to quickly respond and comment on information that was provided by the Vice Chair for Operations. Thank you for the honor. Vice Chair said if we have had such a discussions back in the 80s, we're never going to go to the dark days. And I want to respectfully disagree that we have such a platform. The presence of all of the Student Unification Party was felt in the 80s. They disagree with the President. SUP from the 70s, SUP was founded. SUP has always remained firm, has always remained to be the light in the darkness. So I'm not surprised. In less than a days, the Student Unification Party was able to respond to the President sooner. And when I see the brothers, the young comrades, it gladdens my heart. Some of us came from the private university, but we always align with the Student Unification Party. For your information, I'm official steward of the Vanguard Unification Party by extensions, the African Methodist Episcopal Zion University. I remember when I was contesting as the vice president, I received a full support from the Student Unification Party. By then, Ifan Numa was the Secretary General of the party. He provided a full support to their militants, the campuses of the University of the AME, both campuses from Pool River and Benton Street. So we have had a long relationship with SU. So again, it is an honor to receive the 33rd propaganda chair of the Vanguard Student Unification Party to give a 30-count resolutions to the President Sona. You know, this type of response is good for our democracy, but we are not in a church hall. Sorry, no disrespect to the Christians and no disrespect to the Muslims who, when the Imam says, God will provide your daily living, and you say amen or amen. No, Liberia is not a banana state. Liberia is a republic, it's a democratic state. So when the president speaks, you must have courageous men like our brothers to respond and to analyze the speech of the president. So again, without delay, I want to invite the chair on propaganda. You know, it is often said that traditions are meant to obey, not to argue. So you can come out this, the ritual you are about to see here has been performed. Many persons, many styles, state officials are going through these styles. I remember a few months back or a few years back, Alexander Benedict stood right here and he was offered this ritual. In the life of other comrades went through this ritual. So it is an honor again to perform this ritual with one of the most powerful men on the campuses of the University of Liberia campus from the Vanguard Student Unification Party. So chair, you know, normally some of us we are on the traditional background. In my hometown, Lofa Kante, when the traditional people are happy with you, offer you white chicken. That tells you how satisfied they are for your person. So we honor by the authority of the forum, we ask you to exchange this intellectual water. I don't need to tell you much about this, because for me, I'm not going to get in as soon as possible time, I'm not going to get fat. But this is our daily routine. We consume this for us to have to exchange, provide information for the consumptions of the ordinary masses. So we are asked to come in for proper photograph. So thank you. So to the leadership, thank you for providing me the opportunity to perform the ritual, and to the audience. This is no disrespect that when you see Abubakar today taking a cup of atay and you will not drink. But they are comrades, they are police. So even if you don't have one, I know that you can afford, you can just walk to the barri and call one and later pay for it. So don't be angry that why Abubakar today is taking a cup of atay and you can't take a cup of atay. So thank you, comrades.
Thank you, Chairman Tukle. Chairman Tukle is one of the instrumental Chairman Emeritus of the forum. I'd like to say thank you. Operations, I'm sure mentioned that the proliferation of intellectual fora around was not as it was in 1980. So we would like to address that to your rebuttal. So we move forward. So comrades, We informed you earlier that today we will play host to the 33rd propaganda chair of the Student Unification Party. This discourse is intended to provide for us SUP's official response to the President's State of the Nation. Like I read the heading to you, the party denounces the State of the Nation address and terms it as useless. Even though there were a lot of things mentioned in the President's State of the Nation address, ranging from the economy to education. In fact, the university now has a new president. But whether that body will allow the new president to proceed is another thing that the propaganda chair will be addressing shortly. But without much I would like to have the distinguished honor to invite to the podium Comrade Nyan Emmanuel to present to us the response, an official response of the Student Unification Party.
Manda, we do.
Super power. You get what your opposition from the party to represent. Intellectual men and women, ideological and revolutionary lighting class of the Liberian society, permit me to bring you greetings from the most powerful man, the most powerful person in the Republic of Liberia, on the campuses of the University of Liberia. And who presides over the joint section, the tripartite section of Africa, ODF, mass-based political revolutionary kingdom, insurmountable, undefeatable, uncompromising, unshakable, unwavering revolutionary ruling vanguard student party. South, President coming annual law, coming chairman, coming leader, coming teacher. President Peter. Don't lay the intellectual spirit of President Peter. Don't lay. There you. Is it my party? There you. Comrades, the intellectual supremacy and the massocratic deity vested in the chairman suit make the chairman suit to be the most powerful man in the Republic of Liberia. Mr. Boyka, a already zombie moving president on the 27th of January 2025 addressed the state on the theme rescue or development with a key underlining word on his sonar address called the movement of truth. The Litany comrades by quoting Comrade Adolor Amika Kabara, who said, and I quote, "Tell no lies and claim no easy victory." Mr. Boyka, a birthday movie deacon, in less than 1 year, has become the highest teller of lies ever in the history of political governance in this country. Comrades, it is easy to use lies to get political leadership, but it is hard to use lies to maintain political leadership. Because the masses of the people in this country who lies the policies are not effective knows within themselves that their life is not progressing until then their life is progressing. The masses who say in real life, who say at the Douala market, who are in Soliwe, who are in West Point, are aware that 1 year counting, Mr. Boyka and his rescue commando are the most richest people in this country, while the masses' lives are degenerated to complete economical backwardness. Comrades, we have not come to spell propaganda, but we have come to unearth the lies in Mr. Boyka's sonar address with statistical facts from international organizations, from governmental organizations, and from the research done by the Bureau of Press Propaganda Research and Guidance. Boyka, State of the Nation, focus on the economy, they focus on education, they focus on health, they focus on improving democratic governance in compliance with the rule of law. As you can read there, our message today will address and unearth all of what Mr. Boyka said in your lumping lies.
Is more powerful than Jeremiah.
Since education is the pillar of society advancement and development, we will firstly start with what Mr. Boyka said on education. Mr. Boyka mentioned in the State of the Nation that in 1 year, progress has been made significantly in making sure the challenges facing the educational sector in this country is addressed amicably, and learning environment is getting better and better on a daily basis. Students in this country now, students is entitled to a tier in which we call one student, one chair policy. Comrades, before diving into Mr. Boyka, this content misrepresented and unlogical lies. Permit me, comrades, to give you statistical report from UNESCO debriefing on the state of the education sector in January 2024. This report was launched on January 15, 2024. You can go at the UNESCO website You can read the report, it is there. But let me give you underlying factor and key issues that was identified. In 2022, it was estimated that 8 out of every 10 children drop from school every year. In 2022, it was estimated that the number of dropout students in the Republic of Liberia stand at around 42%. In 2022, it was estimated based on the report that UNESCO did that the ideas about financial burden on parents have made the possibility that students will not reach 18 years. The higher percentage ever at the time still at 52% that it will be impossible for you to reach 18 before you finish high school. In Mr. Boyka's administration, we want to inform you that UNESCO is saying that the possibility for a student from grade 1 or from preschool to 12th grade to complete high school education stand at 4.2% in 2024. Latest when UNESCO is coming up with their report. So it means in Boyka, Liberia, we have approximately maybe over 10,000 students that will have the opportunity to graduate from high school with a students ratio of over 400,000 students in this country that are attending classes. We only have 10,000 that may be successful in high school. Mr. Boyka is saying there's progress in education. UNESCO is also saying that under Mr. Boyka, the number of students that are not going to school is the highest ever in the country history. The highest ever. As we speak, we have close to 58.2% of Liberian children out of school and not going to school. The number of students that are out of school is at 58.2%. But Mr. Boyka is saying that his government in 1 year has addressed challenges in country education, and we expect to see enrollment at the highest peak, where UNESCO is saying differently. Let me say this again. From the Ministry of Education, government-owned regulatory arms have informed us that the possibility of a young person reaching a potential in Liberia at age 18 stay at 32%. So it means almost all the young people in this country will reach the full potential, only have 32% to reach the full potential. That is, the Boyka administration has downplayed education significantly. What is the factor? If Mr. Boyka said they address education, the factor will be reflected from the 2024 Broad National Budget that was allotted. Congress, let us dive to the 2024 National Budget and Mr. Boyka is prepared for education to tell you that this regime is bending on keeping the masses children out of school and making sure that education is taken away from the people. Be reminded, Congress, that Article 6 of the Liberian Constitution makes education a fundamental right. It will interest you to know that the national budget under Mr. Boyka cannot even give a higher of over 15% to education. Education budget stands at around 13%. This 13%, how is this 13% disbursed? The Minister of Finance in the 2024 national budget was appropriated 1.5 million. But the budget outcome projected the total outcome from the Minister of Education at around 3.8 million.
Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. Flying private jet. Downplaying education. You are violated the Kenyatta Declaration.
Congress, the Liberian government, instead of focusing on education, take almost 10% of the budget that goes to the Ministry of Education and Charity to go to one Dasso Jala to be flying all around misbehave. But Dasso Jala now is the one in charge. It's misusing, disabusing state resources. Let me say this to you.
Madam Jaso Jala, as Minister of Education, has more budgetary allotment and receive more budgetary allotment than all of the technical vocational institutions in this country. Minister Jaso Jala, as Minister of Education, receive more budgetary allotment than all combined college institutions that have been legislated by the national legislature to provide quality tertiary education for the university students or students graduating out of high school in this country. Only Mr. Whitaker, first budget year, education has been downplayed completely. Mr. Whitaker talked about TVET education, a quote-unquote 10,000 program that was launched for TVET education. It may be so that Liberia's youth have knowledge in technology and computer knowledge. The intelligence of the Student Unification Party, research and guidance have come out to identify that we cannot guarantee over 300 Liberian students, over 300 Liberian youth attending Mr. Braga so-called 10,000 typical youth program. Comrades, if you check in the national budget, Mr. Braga gave zero for said program that he's talking about. If you get zero for your own proposed idea, what is the possibility of you conducting a TVET technology program in 3 months? This is the question the public will ask Mr. Whitaker until and obey another license Mr. Whitaker's policy for education. Mr. Whitaker again, going to TVET, you have the biggest technical vocational education in Maryland was given zero in the 2024 national budget. What does this speak to you, comrades? A government that inherits a population of almost 60% youthful population is not focusing its agenda on education. It's not focusing its agenda on human resource capital development. It's not focusing its agenda on the young people and is wanting to perform magic. Mr. Braga wants the young people in this country to perform magic. This is the reason if you read the age agenda, the advanced agenda for inclusive development is a non-perfected agenda. The agenda that only disclose the U.S. problem and give you ambiguous protected promises without fact-based analysis as to how the government will tackle issues affecting education. Mr. Braga cannot say there were progress made in education when the budget that have been crafted to discuss educational challenges cannot commensurate with the challenges within the educational sector. Let me say this to you, comrades. According to the Ministry of Education again, the highest enrolling students in this country are students from ABC up to 6th grade. The Ministry of Education national budget reflects a mere 20,000 United States dollars given to students from ABC to 7th grade. This to 6th grade. This is the foundational laying stage. According to the Ministry of Education, you have over 200,000 students only in public schools. I'm not talking about private schools. To over 200,000 students from ABC to 6th grade. And Mr. Whitaker's government is appropriating a mere 20,000. Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. 45,000 cars. 45,000 cars. You pay attention to the children education. Do. Mr. Whitaker, why over fleets of Mercedes and worth 2.5 million? Why kindergarten education, ECD, the foundation of any state, is giving mere 20,000. Comrades, if 20,000 cannot run some of the schools you're looking at in this country, I'm talking about preschools that we know about. 20,000 cannot run it. Let's talk about giving 20,000 to whole country. And the 20,000 that is given, comrade, it is not given for program. It is not given to teach the children how to read. It is not given to teach the children how to write. It is given to the Minister of Education as what they call, and they say, allowing purposes for ECD education. The country, the people of this country must rise up to Mr. Whitaker arrogance. The people of this country must rise up to Mr. Waka's total neglect. The people of this country must rise up and challenge Mr. Waka in a more forceful way. Say this to you, Mr. Waka cannot say that there was success in the education sector when his report, the national budget that we are using as our weapon to help Mr. Waka's lives cannot commensurate with the challenges in class. Let me say this again. According to USAID, the United States agency, we are all aware of USAID. USAID is saying we have over 400,000 school going children in public schools. We have over 8,000 teachers in public school. The entire country, with over 60% population of young people, you have only 8,000. So it tells you that the ratio for student to teacher ratio stay at a 1 to the 2,000. A single teacher is at 22,000 students. Are we learning in this country? What is the projected future of the young people? The Vanguard Party is saying Mr. Waka started on a charade speed and soon will soon meet Mr. Waka very soon. Tiki tika tika. Very soon we'll meet Mr. Waka. Very soon we will inform Mr. Waka that the Vanguard Party is still around. Very soon we will tell that old school rascal going cook. And you will not go with impunity if you continue to disabuse the fundamental right of Liberians.
That's another thing I say. That's another thing I say. So, too much. Let's go.
Comrades, Mr. Waka then said that his government is creating the enabling environment to attract investment in compliance with the rule of law and the maintenance of democratic tendencies. Let me say this to you. Mr. Waka's State of the Nation was an illegal and illegitimate state of the nation. For the fact that Mr. Waka addressed the state where you have a constitutional denigrate, a constitutional renegade in one vehicle presiding over a constitutional function when he is now constitutionally elected as speaker, makes Mr. Waka's State of the Nation illegal, putting Liberia democratic pretensions and gain arrays. Let us say this to you. In less than 1 year, Mr. Waka, against abuse, has bastardized and compromised the judiciary of this country. In less than 1 year, the democratic gains and values of the state have been completely destroyed and broken down. In less than 1 year, freedom of expression has been replaced by police brutality against terrorism. In less than 1 year, the judiciary have been weaponized. In less than 1 year, rescue lawmakers have been pushed. Let's take them in front.
National Tendency. National Tendency. From Waka. Let's get added to the store soon. Yo.
National Tendency. National Tendency. Regular common. Regular common. TD peaceful student. TD peaceful student. Yo.
In less than 1 year, the judiciary doesn't have independence, because the rescue lawmaker will say when you come out any ruling against or will impeach you. So because of that, the judiciary is afraid. One kind of weapon now to legislature against the judiciary. The Supreme Court has lost its independence. But the fact that the Supreme Court cannot handle a single person in the legislature and giving the absolute ruling tells you how Mr. Waka weaponized the legislature against the judiciary. We are aware when the majority bloc held by an illegal, a rebel speaker, purporting to be informed the minister of the Supreme Court judge that an attempt to rule in favor of Speaker Kofa will impeach you. We are there. This is how the legislature have weaponized itself against the judiciary. In Brackers 1 year. In Brackers 1 year, you cannot expect any investment to come in a country where the rule of law has been disabused, where the constitutional cabal is not respected, where people who work in the executive feel that they are demon of the state and they detect a constitutional proceeding. In less than 1 year, have no honor in this country. Everybody is boss on their own once you are appointed by Mr. White. Congress, Liberia, in terms of democratic gain, is experiencing its worst than ever. For the very first time in the history of this country, you have 2 speakers and a DJ in a single house. Very first time in the history of this country. Only a boycott in Liberia. This is the reason the UL Students Unification Party is saying Mr. Pointer in 1 year time have damaged the democratic gain of the state. Today, we are seeing a police state where the police have been weaponized against the masses of these people when you get out to speak and to protest and inept TikTok calling police RG in Gbajo Como. Send men after you, brutalize you, torture you. In a quarter Liberia.
Yo, even in his laboratory, he had 20 men. Yo.
Comrades, the state of the economy has worsened and is worse under Mr. White. Evident for the fact that the increase in skyrocketing of prices, the increase and the outweighting of the United States dollars to the Liberian dollar today, the rate stands at 200. The bank arrest in Nigeria is around $40 United States dollars. And one Morovia is staying at around 3,500. Mr. Parker is saying that in 1 year time, but they want to drop the black of rest, prices of black of rest, 2,000. A broad daylight. Broad daylight. We are not surprised because this is a president, like I said to the comrades on campus on many occasions, that sleep for 23 hours and work only 30 minutes in a day. You don't be a surprise when you hear the president say that thing. Because he's sleeping. You don't know what's happening. It's out of control. So the moment they wake you up in year 2000, a year, you say, okay, we're present at 2000. That's how Mr. Power got this information. But as far as we are concerned, and with our costs done in broad counties, our assessment done in broad counties, black of breast is our highest. In 1 year time, people in this country are suffering more. But yet then say, Mr. Poitin is rescue commando operating opponent. Yesterday, the state of affairs was bad under the local Gonan boy in Joshua. Today, the state of affairs under Mr. Poitin is at the worst. And I always say, if this is the experience that this lucky Sierra Leonean rascal man say he has, then he's not even qualified to be in K2. He cannot even be a Blamado. Because if you have 42 years of experience, there's a reason coming for me. I believe in my mind that Mr. Poitin is not a human being. Mr. Poitin is just existing, it's not living. Because there's a difference between a normal human being. A normal human being will disagree. Mr. Poitin all through his life had never disagreed, had never stood up for anything. There's no record in the history of this country that Mr. Poitin stood up for this. Mr. Poitin has always been sleeping all through his life. This is the time for the conscious population in this country to rise up to the occasion before democracy sink on our feet. The sudden disappearance, the mysterious death How can you talk about investment when you are killing people that are investing in this country? You were here when you heard the death of the manager of the Boulevard Palace. And we will not be surprised because we know that there is a ritual. Let's take President called Jeremiah. The moment you hear Jeremiah Kuni, you hear about Sunday disappearance. Let's take it.
Rational tendency. Boyokun, sleeping waka, sleeping waka. So going to history. Yo.
This is the vice president company, and the moment they call a name, try to check on your body, all of your bodies are intact. People will come and invest in a country where a ritualist is a vice president. Where the state cannot investigate the sudden death of people that are investing in the service sector. According to the Cross Revenue Authority, the service sector accounts to over 20% of revenue generation. But you have people that are working in the service and hospitality sector dying mysteriously only because the vice president is afraid of exposure. Say the Banga Party said that Jeremiah is a bloody killer. And he will meet his Waterloo soon. Comrades, Mr. Whitaker is unfit to be president of this country. Mr. Whitaker is incapacitated. Mr. Whitaker doesn't have any tools to lead this country. This is a government that can be on the basis of competence. But you have a cartoon toller that control the biggest broadcasting institution in this country. A UG Pacon.
Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. Sweater head of Facon. Sweater head of Facon. That massive man will take one another.
Yo. A academic denigrate. Someone that doesn't have the appetite to call a school only because they said on the radio and their subject verb doesn't agree. Their logic, the test content, and test organized. Putting at the biggest broadcasting platform in this country. Mr. Whitaker talk about competence when you have a Queen Johnson, a legend that is not even qualified to say Kobo. Serve as orchestra at the port of Monrovia. Incompetence is highest order. Commerce, government in, government out has proven that once you are not a partisan worshiping person, you are not qualified for a job.
Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. Nepotism, favoritism, marginalization. Other people get job based on merit. Yo.
Mr. Whitaker said in 1 year time he had reconciled Liberia. But comrades, in 1 year time, Liberia is now only divided on party lands. Liberia is now divided on tribal lands. Look at the number of employment. If you are not from Lofa, you don't have the opportunity to lucrative job. All of the lucrative jobs in this country in government goes to Lofa. 60% of Mr. Whitaker's appointees are from Lofa. A sector-wise government that violates the executive code of ethics have been abused under the watch of Mr. Whitaker. Minister of Finance, Central Bank Governor, LRA. We can go on and leave them and leave them and leave them. Mr. Whitaker is saying, if you are not from Lofa, sorry. This is an old man that said he keep on the mantra to fight corruption. Set up an asset recovery team that says information and not even rescue a bus tire. The asset recovery team was getting over 1.8 million. Okay, now it can't. Up to now, a bus tire.
We
Reactionnaire tendency. Reactionnaire tendency. Kamen Podio. Kamen Podio. Yo. She's also going to look at you.
The pastile have not been retrieved. And Mr. Brother asked the public. Mr. Brother said he killed the fight corruption by his parachuting. Because one official under the administration, former Central Bank Governor, stole over 300,000 million United States dollars. I've been parachuted. I've been compensated with over 375,000.
Yo, I just tell 375,000. What you say now? Everything you hungry. Yo. Say you, everybody, you're going to attend to taking out money. Say you.
But the brother is saying, Steve will compensate you. Steve will get smarting. He told us in local country that he encourages his ministers in government of Steve, but there must be a blessing to the suffering people of this country. It is predicated upon you, commerce, to be saved here and think the nation will get better. Then I told the teller one day, the intellectual boom day is over. Commerce, there's a need for a popular revolution. System in this country must change. And we will change a committed revolutionary. Waka and his elite of gangster paradise, bastardize and disabuse the state. He gave a lot of political marks.
Reactionnaire tendency. Reactionnaire tendency. Reconciliation. Joe Waka. The only reconciliation is going so far, you reconcile with him, yo.
And come let us say that Mr. Costa is a coward. Oh yes. When you form Mr. Parker, you form Mr. Parker from your conviction that Parker was not a political option. Banga Party still believe Mr. Parker now a political option. Mr. Parker is a 20-day history. An accident necessity that arises from the birth of the elected president George. It was because of the elected behavior of Mr. Joshua that you had a sleeping Joe at the executive master's president. This mistake will be corrected soon by the Revolutionary Vanguard Party. Comrades, we will go on and on and on. But the Revolutionary Vanguard Party is in respect of political time. We have been signaled by the moderator that we have a minimum of 5 minutes. So as we conclude, I want to say this to you. Mr. Baga Sona was illegal. It did not reflect the constitutional will of the state. Mr. Baga disabused education. There's no hope for young people in this country with the government that cannot address education in its national budget of the 20%. If Mr. Baga won their time, in the budget like 12 remain closed up to 10 months. And then you brought Dr. Mapan. Let us say this, comrades. Vanguard Party and welcome Dr. Mapan. We don't see a appointment of president at the university like God. It's problem. The problem at the university is systematic institutional issue. It's a deliberate attempt for government in, government out to crack down on providing quality tertiary education for the masses of this country. Mr. Parker, with action, said that his government told an individual at the Ghana School of Medical Science for heart surgery, but the university like you are clinic cannot even treat malaria. The clinic at the University of Liberia doesn't even have paracetamol. This is the Liberia we are. Education is bastardized. Chairman have given us a mandate to inform you, comrades. This is the time to rise. Soon, we soon announce a popular revolution. We will demand Mr. Parker exit. We cannot continue Mr. Parker in this space for more than 2 years. There will be a catastrophic disaster.
C'est quoi, vous avez tourné, tu l'as tourné, c'est quoi, on se trouve, c'est quoi, yo, soit des BNT, des power to essayer de faire une political party in la yo.
On the basis of this, want to say the revolution is inside. Mr. Boaga days at the executive mansion is no more. And pretty soon, the Student Unification Party will do the passes to the revolution.
You see our money. You see our money.
Thank you. So, comrades, we'd like to say this is a reminder that we have the 23rd propaganda chair of the Student Unification Party appearing at the Nelson Mandela Intellectual Forum. If you're just joining us, we'd like to say you're welcome as we go through the discourse. So the chairman has provided his presentation, and as usual, when presentations are provided at this discourse, the next item that follows is the item that highlights comments, questions, and recommendations. He has spoken on series of issues for which we listened, and it's about time that you interact with Chairman Yang. So we encourage the chairman to take the dossier of papers to take down questions, comments, and recommendations for which we will respond thereafter. So, comments, we will take the first 4 concerns. Well, it is question, comment, or recommendation. We'll take 2 from this side and take 2 from this side. Then we allow the chairman to respond to them. But while your concerns are coming in, we'd like to ask the chairman to further provide reference notes, reference data to us, so that past checkers be at work as we do fact checking to some of the information that has been provided around here. So I saw the Chairman Emeritus hand up. Chairman Emeritus, welcome. You're recognized.
Thank you. Let me say this, for me, I am not surprised. I am only impressed and gratified by the presentations of the Vanguard Student Unification Party Chair on propaganda. Chair, thank you. You have given me a hope. The Vanguard Student Unification Party has reminded me that men are still around. And I remember back in the dark days, there were still men around to provide counter thesis to the myth. When I read the president's speech, like I said the other day on the radio, one of the things I saw in his educational policies or his measures, when he talked about the TVS program and that of the youth, that call it the National Youth Program. But I look at that, it was not at the bottom of the president's heart. When you come to power, the first thing that can be on your heart is what you propose. You fall for legislation. Then I will say this: 107 years. We don't need too much of speeches. We don't need words. What we need now is action. We need actions. We have listened to most beautiful speeches. If President Baga can speak, trust me, he cannot speak more than the Harvard graduates. President Baga, he can speak more than the Harvard graduates. So we need words. We need actions. And thank God men are run to what they have given us hope. The speech was full of myths. Even in the time could not permit the chair to dive into the economic policies of the president. the economic policies of the president was myth. I believe that the president was misinformed when the president said the inflation rate is at a very low pitch. I'm not a student of economics, but thank God when you do agribusiness, you do sufficient economics. I read, just go to Zala or anywhere, go to the gas station and ask for today's rate. The online masses will tell you what is the rate. Then you come to the public, your commerce minister and that of what the central bank governor and that of what the finance minister gave you wrong data about the economy. He informed us about the price of rice when in fact comrades here, many of us that sit there here, we have not even observed our first milk. We only observe one time, one spoil milk. The president is not even focusing about creating jobs. Job is paramount to over 60% of the young people of this country. So, Mr. President, we don't need too much of words. We need action. Action is needed at this time. We are tired listening to too much of our speeches. Where Liberia is now, we don't need too much of speeches, but we need actions. Today, we are just being informed that the foreign minister is currently in Burkina Faso. Captain Abraham is not giving too much of speeches. He is in action, liberating the masses of Burkina Faso. So, Mr. President, you have the time, but if you cannot utilize the time, the masses will rise against your leadership. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Congress, we'll give you 1 minute when you're on track. We'll extend that by 30 seconds to recognize Congress.
All right, thank you. Prince, Meska, so what's their name? Say thank you to the speaker for the deliberation. So I got two concerns. The first one has to do with reconciliation, and that goes to SUP as a party. You are criticizing the government on reconciliation, but yet you are suppressing other parties at the state where university from progressing, such as SIM. The Lagos SIM today cannot be found only because of SUP or cancer attitude or that one cause of chunking. Number two, the second part, and I also agree with the moderator when we say you have to provide some websites so we can make research. When you said the president said he had launched the one child, one chair program, because I listened to the speech, the president my comment will launch the one child for one chair program. Well, according to the president already launched it. I don't really understand that. I think that's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Do we have any other commenter? Any other concern? So we allow the chairman to respond quickly while we have comments coming in. We have 1 minute 30 seconds to respond to each comment.
Thank you, comrades. 54 years, the Student Unification Party have maintained intellectual dominance, political leadership on the campuses of the University of Liberia. The University of Liberia is the most conscious hubs in this country. For SUP to survive 54 years in political leadership tells you that the Student Unification Party has the leadership capability in representing the interests of over 22,000 at the state level. Let me say this to you, Congress. Power is not negotiated on the basis of reconciliation, but is fought for genuinely on the basis of ideas. On the university campus, people don't vote your institution, people don't align with your institution because you are from counties, because you are of the same tribes, or because of your stand on national issues. 54 years, we have informed regime upon regime. We have advocated continuously and consistently. I don't have to allow POSA to take leadership on your campus before you can know that we are reconciled. For the fact that there is a POSA, for the fact that there is a sin, for the fact that there is a student in a dominant environment of democratic tendency where you go to competitive elections and you are defeated, it means the Student Unification Party had a democratic value to give you the opportunity to express yourself, to present your candidate and for your candidate to be defeated. So when you go to election and somebody defeat you, it doesn't mean you are anti-reconciler. No, it means you are a democratic institution. And the Vanguard Party is a democratic institution. To survive, like I said, 54 years in Comrade. No political party in the history since the establishment of the two-week Olugake that went for over 33 years has survived political democratic tendency in a democratic space than the Vanguard Party. This is the reason we can test beat anywhere. At 54 years, we are maintaining the most conscious terrain, and we are unapologetic for that. Everything you will say, oh, we're going to suppress it, that is your choice of words. The Vanguard Party will not compromise a political supremacy on the university campus only because we want to test or please your intellectual sentiment that have been, mesmerized. No. To the issue. To the issues. Mr. Bwaga said that his government has already launched one child, one tier policy. He also said, come here, I want to provide fast to it.
Yeah, we'd like to hold you right there. We'd like to hold you there. Yeah. So on the president's message, I read that quickly. I read it from the speech. New policies such as the National School Quality Standards and the Center for Excellence will ensure high educational standards. At the primary level, we are launching the One Child, One Tier initiative to address the shortage of tiers for school children nationwide.
So it shows that it's a continual process. The project already started. Continual process.
So the president acknowledges that there is shortage of tiers in the classroom.
Yeah.
And the president is saying they are about to launch.
No, come here again.
We are launching. We are launching. It's a continuous process.
It means a continuous
It's
process.
a continuous process.
So we are in no error on that. Let's get this clear. So we are in no error on that. Let's get this clear. We said we will, or we said we are. There's a continuous process. We already started. So we want to say this. We want to say this.
Agree.
So we want to say this comment. We want to say this. That Mr. Bwaga was saying a lie because the statistics, like I said, and those that ask for fact, I think go in your girl chat room. I send the information from UNESCO there, you can go there and you read. The most deplorable educational learning environment in this country is in Liberia. The most. If you check in high schools, in schools, not out of Monrovia, the only two schools that we are aware of, Mr. Bwaga and the Ministry of Education did what they call a photo shoot. Because it is only intended for photo shooting. Was at the Tottenham High, where they went there and they gave few tiers. Go look and see here the one tier, one student policy is on course. Go and see the deplorable learning condition, the environment in which students say, go to the right here in Monrovia. Go you are in Monrovia. Go beyond this space. Mr. Bwaga, come and say this. There are tiers of using sentiment and political mesmerization to please the already anger in the people. A genuine better things will be the reasons that will provoke the masses into anger in making sure that Mr. Bwaga is giving and will please it like you. We don't sugarcoat the desire and the standard of the people for better life. We don't compromise it either. Mr. Bwaga was in error, statement was lies, and it cannot be validated. Within 10 schools, 10 schools, even in Monrovia, have received tiers for one student, one cheers. That statement was a dumb statement, sleepily delivered by a sleeping person.
Thank you. Sustain.
All right, thank you. Again to the forum guests. To education, you keep denigrating the effort made by the president. So there's a question to you. The continuation of the free tuition policy and that of the WAS and the proposed vocational school in local country. Can you see that as a boost in the education system? You still think that they love no gain?
Mr. Quagga made zero gain in education funds.
Thank you.
Let me say this again. Mr. Quagga made zero gain in education. If you look at the foundation of the inherent of the Quagga's administration, Mr. Quagga is the oldest president in this country. He is the father, the grandfather to over 3 generations of young people. It means the current generation of youth in this country are great-grandparents or great-grandchildren to Mr. Quagga. What do we expect? We don't expect to see an old school president spending over 1.5 million for Christmas holiday in local county. We don't expect to see the old school president using over 500,000 to celebrate Katumu Wia anniversary. All through a line Mr. Quagga never celebrated wedding anniversary. It was only when he became president and then you celebrating Katumu Wia was standing with you to be president. Where you have students, you have children, Mr. Quagga should better never children in this country that have a desire to learn and make sure budgetary allotment is given to their sector to benefit their life. You cannot tell me Mr. Quagga gave me 200,000 to preschool education as progress in education. You cannot tell me that Mr. Quagga gave me zero to teacher education as progress in education. You cannot tell me that Mr. Quagga gave me over 800,000 to Makibi Technical College or Makibi University that has a population of over 268,000 as progress in education. You cannot tell me that. Mr. Quagga has made zero progress in education. His 1-year administrative tenure is only marked by lies, by deceit, and propaganda that will be held by the Student Unification Party and will be forcefully resisted based on the popular action to soon be announced by the Vanguard Party.
Thank you. Comrades, we come around to agree. We agree here to disagree. We disagree here to agree. But it's important to state that while it is true, the present continuous tense of a verb means that action is continuing, the present continuous tense is also used for the future. So the best group to interpret it is the government. However, we highly respect the view of the chairman and we hold that constant. Thank you. If we have any other concern, kindly state yes. Comrade Moses Newman.
All right. Thank you so much for the recommendation. I'm Moses F. Newman. And my question goes to our prime guest. You made mention on the faults of the president. All of the presidents, you started with former President George Weah. Can you tell us in a clear term which of the president or which of the governments has Student Unification Party ever supported or has ever hailed? And in another term, can you tell me clearly why always that the Student Unification Party is always in the opposition?
Thank you.
We are not in opposition, we are a revolutionary party.
Any other concern?
Chairman respond to that.
Yeah. Commentators.
Yeah, gentlemen, thank you. Representation of the Student Unification Party for the University of the Republic of Liberia.
Now,
my name remains supreme. I'm Joseph Davis. I from the CDC. I'm the vice chair of political affairs of the school of the CDC in the district. Thank you. Amanda. 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 Oh, the Student Unification Party did the job. We are reaching the doing to Quagga and he say, nobody but your people will not be tired. Say, Amanda. Okay. So, thank you. Veteran. You're a young veteran. I'm happy. You know, I love to see young people like you. You know, sometimes don't stretch your mind away to the reality. During the day of former President Weah, the party that brought the coalition government into the country. The default we are. He said, John, we are not proceeding the wrong way. That is the same information you came to Liberia at the center. And yesterday when you were saying it, at the time when they were in opposition, they were coming here for you. Today they see someone that tell you as a rebel. They see your movement as a rebel, or they see your action as a rebel action. But they lie to themselves. Sioux, I follow the record of Sioux. They are very decisive. They never bend. Not because they are here. I follow them, all government. From the Samuel Doe to the Charles Taylor, was the both dictator. I come to aid. So now, everything that you are saying, Chief, my dear comrade, veteran, it will get into the soul. They will not say, ain't no free day. Because they live with the lies. The lie brought them. They want for the Liberia people to believe that nothing is happening, everything is well. When you put your 1,000 in your pocket, coming on the outside there, strong 1 or 2 parties follow with you. Up to now, that made my day. You have to enter yourself. Oh, you not see that? Your president told us the economy is bad on. Today, why is the rate? Gasoline price will be reduced. The bank of rap that people were buying $3,350 on a job here, it went up to $3,500. Is the price reduced? So you want to believe us? We should believe you? Eh? No, let me tell you. Don't be a coward. You must always be a man. I always say, when we were there, we take bullet. Young people, when you say today, Liberia is declining day by day. Thank you.
Thank you. Comrade Davis. If we don't have any other concerns, we will go to the podium, the chairman, to address the already existing concerns. So, for us, we don't see it as an encouragement. And we are very encouraged by the folks from the CDC, because we understand that whenever the Banga Party appear to criticize the Boyka administration, normally they are mesmerized and it goes in feelings. And Mr. Wia will project himself here again. He will still meet the Vanguard Party unapologetically. We owe no one an apology. Take what we did, and if Mr. Wia appear in twofold, we appear in 6 or 10-fold to resist him against our paradise. We resist them again and again and again. Commerce. Here, commerce asking which government have failed. The question should be, which government has reduced poverty? In less than 2 years in Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Touré is now producing electric cars. In less than 2 years in Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Touré is leading an agricultural revolution where Burkina Faso will be food sufficient. Today, to tear a leaflet of President Ibrahim Touré in Burkina Faso is like you are committing suicide for yourself, because the masses will move on you with anger, because a leader in whom the world trusts and believes in is representing their interests. In less than 2 years in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Touré took over a government using a motorcade. That motorcade has now been repaired. State resources, that motorcade is still being used by Ibrahim Touré. Contrary, in less than 1 year of Mr. Boyka, a man who appeared in 15 all around the place is presenting himself as a lucky young boy. Mr. Boyka is dancing all around the place. In less than 1 year, Mr. Boyka, who was living on noon, is living on a budget of over 3.7 million. In less than 1 year, Mr. Boyka, who was not celebrating wedding anniversary, is using state money of over 500,000 to celebrate anniversary as an emphasize where you have
over 52% of the population of young people dropping out from school. In less than 1 year, a biker that could not work good is now being celebrated as a person that is doing well. Congress, this is your costume. The Vanguard Student Unification Party is a masses-oriented party. We are students of masses, leaders, and dialectical materialism. Our argument is not for personal sentiment or to give up political popularity. Our argument is for the downtrodden masses of this country. We hope for a government that will come one day that the people of this country will say, Amanda, way to that Leo. It is our responsibility to fight for that government. We don't know who that individual will be, but we are optimistic that the Vanguard Party will make sure that one day there will be a revolutionary leader in this country that will liberate the people. And let me say this to the folks in the regime. If you think you is too critical on your government, put emphasis on the people. Make sure the Liberian students are going to school. Make sure the economy is up to date and the standard of living is improved, where people will be able to exert 3 square meals a day. Make sure that people are given decent concern to health and education. Make sure that our roads are connected and agricultural productivity is on the increase. This is the government. So we will. Until that government comes, we are in the struggle. Let me say this again to you. The idea that we are in opposition, we cannot say we are in opposition, we cannot say we are in position, and we cannot say we are out of position. The historical necessity of the day determines where we stand. Today, we are confronted with an old school moving president. The republic has turned into a zombie republic. Now, the Bwakarization of the Bwakas policy taking over all government institutions. We are confronted with a regime that is weaponizing the police against peaceful citizens and is weaponizing the legislature against the judiciary. We are confronted with a regime that its economic policy is to please Gafwan, Bwaka, Kun. The national budget is a weapon of mass destruction, weaponized against the people and used as a praise and worship tools to please Mr. Bwaka and the elite politicians. This is the regime we are confronted with. We don't see ourselves as opposition, we see ourselves as heroes and liberation in the people's struggle. Regardless of which regime that comes, the Vanguard Party stand in this democratic position. It doesn't matter how you see us. That's the reason I say we are not silent for what we do. We do what we do in history dictates and necessitate that we do what we do. Let us say this to you. You will be happy with a regime that will make sure that taxes are put on raw material that leave this country. Let me just give you information again. Congress Money Radio, just give me a little knowledge of time. Firestone Concession Company, Aston Metal, Golden Barrel, B Mountain. These multilateral organizations, institutions in this country work the state of over 600 billion annually. And every government official, from the president to the vice president to the speaker to the judiciary, takes share in the welfare of this country. They refuse to tax every raw material that leaves this country. And Liberia is the only country in Africa that is not taxing raw material that leaves this country. The reason they are not taxing is because Firestone will give them kickback after their export, B Martin will give them kickback after their export, Aston Metal will give them kickback after their export, and then when the goods is transformed into finished product, it is brought to you, you pay 50% tax on the goods coming in this country. It is complete worthless. We will not support a regime that do that against the people. The people that are suffering, the people that are marginalized, the people that are temporized. So will not support any regime. If you think we are in opposition because it is our stand, that's your choice and your worldview on how we look. But as we said, we are a massive leaders party that are in the interest of man.
Thank you. So, comrades,
At this point, we'd like to start to draw down the curtains of this discourse. We'd like to appreciate the chairman. We'd like to appreciate all of you. We'd like to call on the vice chair for operations to give our official commendation on behalf of the forum.
Thank you. Manda! Away too. And again, thank you to Stewart and member of the President's Party on behalf of the membership and the next member of the forum. We want to extend our heartfelt thanks and appreciation for honoring our invitation to be here. And again, the message is resonating, and let him serve that the party own no one apology. In fact, the question being asked, what else to make opposition? And again, these are questions people always ask because they have never been in line with any regime. And you have told us that it is because no regime has lived up to the expectations of the Liberian people. Until then, soup remains the masses' party. So again, chair of propaganda, we are hopeful that in days to come, we might have the chairman and the Holy Kasabu. And we believe with you, the Congress, the chairman will appear here soon to talk to the masses. And again to you, we want to say thank you. Without you, there will be no Nelson Mandela International. It is a person that keeps the place going. And we are hopeful that you'll be around all of the time. And we can assure you that we'll do our best as leaders to keep this forum going. We'll make sure and bring forth those people who have the message to deliver, who are willing to rescue the downgrading masses of our people. We can assure you, we'll also bring the government officials at this platform. We'll bring them with the needs and rises to tell the people that for the ongoing activities of our country, we can assure you that we're going to do that. As long as they are willing to appear, they will come because we engage them. If you want to say thank you, remember on every Saturday, we go over our normal activities, like the television and other things. Until then, we resume on Monday with our regular Mandela as the same. If we're having guests, we also announce it at the platform. We post it on our Facebook pages. And again, like I've always said, Liberia is all we have. Let's maintain the peace. If Liberia gets better, it gets better for every one of us. When we get to the market, no, we're not asking that for memorial that you put that drugs we are so we will send a bag of rice for you for 5,000 or 6,000 others. We are going to purchase at the same price, pay the same transportation, and do everything at the same cost. So for these reasons, let's be hopeful that Liberia gets better for every one of us. Every one of us will enjoy some days. And again, we want to say thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Memorial.
Thank you. That's the voice of Maurice S. Sion, the Vice Chair for Operations here at the Nelson Mandela Intellectual Forum. So, comrades, we'd like to inform you that shortly after the leadership will be taking photos with our guests. While we do that, we'd like to officially say this discourse has come to an end. We appreciate your being here. We are here every day, like the Vice Chair for Administration said. On Saturday, we don't have official discourses. On Sundays, we invite guests here. So we're informed that focus on Liberia is carrying on live. We'd like to appreciate focus on Liberia. We'd like to appreciate all of you. We'd like to highly appreciate Comrade Fode Nyan Emmanuel and his entourage for being here. We look forward to seeing all of us here another day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, folks, that's it. Thank you so much for following. This is Focus on Liberia. Just listening to some members of the Student Unification Party. Their countering President Joseph Yuman Boakai, second State of the Nation address here in District number 17, Musarabi County. Thanks so much for following. Do have yourself a wonderful day from Monrovia.